Alrighty, and hi again, everybody. Welcome back to this is a speed draw, another one. I just made a spur of the moment thing. It's gonna be a JoJo picture, but I don't know. I just kind of wanted to do more art stuff because that's been what I've been doing lately. So I'm just gonna keep it on. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I really like the way that it came out for this piece. There's a couple things I feel like I probably could have done a little bit better, but I didn't want to focus on this again too much. I know that's a common theme thing that I say a lot, but you know, this was this piece, it was 8 hours of work this time, so already way too long. I won't lie, I think a lot of that came from the fact that I started this all from digital. I didn't start with like a traditional base. And while I still can take a long time and work on things if I do start on them just from traditional, I feel like it takes a lot longer because a lot of the time I'm focusing on building and structuring things and doing it with the tablet, because I'm not working directly on a screen or nothing like that. I feel like the natural hand movements that you get from doing things on paper doesn't really come in. I still like the way that it came out. There's a lot of pieces that I really like how it just happened to turn out, because there is a lot of like, I still think just like randomness that can come with working digitally, but you know, you'll see, whatever. But I decided to draw a Bruno because Bruno is my favorite character from part 5. What's funny is actually before I watched part 5 of JoJo, I always kind of liked just his design anyways, so I was like, you know, I like the way he looks, but I was like, knowing me, usually I'll like the design of a character and then I'll go and watch and I'm like, I don't really know how I feel about the character. Bruno's definitely my favorite from part 5. I mean, he's kind of like the other main character for part 5 in some ways, probably almost as much as Giorno in some senses, but whatever. But you know, it was just fun. I think it was definitely a choice that I made to draw him, especially with his outfit. He has like the little weird like chest piece or tattoo, whatever it is, and then his actual suit with all the little dots, like that in itself was it took a long time as well, but I did it. I worked on it. And then too, I also decided to do like an actually involved background for this. At least somewhat involved for me. I'm not very good at backgrounds. I know that. I'm always trying to work on that, but the background and like the other like random like ambiance things that I put in there, I ended up focusing on a really long time. And I feel like even in the end, I'm still not 100% happy with how like the things turned out for the stuff on the table. I feel like, I don't know, they just don't look the way I wanted them to. Maybe they're like too smooth. I don't know. But again, I just had to stop though at some point, because I get too hyper focused on little things, especially because digital really allows you to just like zoom in and just go in. But the actual background, because I have them looking out a window, once it does pop up later, I really like the way that turned out. I think it was just fun. You know, it was just like a beach scene in the back, but I do like the way that it, you know, ended up turning out. So I don't know, just my opinion. But yeah, I think that's most of the big takeaways I had from this piece. Again, I am mostly happy with how it came out. Oh, one thing that does happen kind of towards the end, when I went to go save the files, for whatever reason, when I saved the original file for the piece, it didn't save like any of like the little hair flyaways or like little sparkle effects that I put on top, because I put those on the same layer. And then for some reason the file also didn't save all those pieces either, so they were missing from the actual like JPEG, and they were also missing from the like actual like workable file. So I had to go back and just re-add some. Luckily those are just on the top layer, so it didn't like lose like a bunch of like other like underneath details, if that makes sense, because I would have cried. But again, luckily it was just the top layer stuff, so I just re-go through. I just make up new ones. So if you happen to notice that it's different when I put up the final piece, that's the reason why. Yeah, this was a little bit of a longer video. But again, this one was 8 hours, so that's just how it is. If you speed it up too much, it was a little too fast when it was going through, and this is already pretty fast. Let's see. Not immediately going into TV shows. I do have one quick one that I'm going to talk about, but it snowed today. It was a surprise for the Virginia area. What's funny is I didn't know it was going to snow because I am not in touch with the outside world like the rest of everybody is, but I'm really out of touch apparently. But when I went out, I had to go out to my car last night, and I was like walking outside, and I was like, it smells like, like that snow smell. But then I also was like, well, it's probably gonna snow. If it does snow, it's gonna just be like for 2 seconds and it's not gonna stick. And a decent amount actually was on the ground. I was actually surprised. There was probably like maybe like an inch. It's all melted now. It's gonna be gone by tomorrow, but exciting. I'm surprised it even snowed at all, honestly. Last year I don't think we got any snow in our area, so fun things that I woke up to this morning. But anyways, you know how this goes with my speed draws. I like to talk about the shows that I've watched, and because I literally just did one last week, there's not a whole lot of new stuff I have to talk about. But I did watch, because I of course keep up with all my kid shows and whatnot. On Netflix there was the Carmen Sandiego kids series, and I've actually been keeping up with it because I like a lot of the character designs, even though a lot of their character designs are pretty simplistic. I think that's kind of why I like them, is because they're just so simple in nature, and then some of the ones that are more involved I just think are cool looking. However, I watched the last little bit. I think this was technically the 4th season. It really felt like a half a season, because I think it was only like 8 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. But it was, I think it felt like they were officially ending the series. And if they don't officially end it, I don't really know what they're gonna do next, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't know where else they could go from here, because they kind of like almost dismantled the little crew that they had. It was still good though. I mean, it's a kid show, so it's not very complex. It's very focused on like, here's a little geography fact, and like, oh look, we're gonna also have good guys versus bad guys versus the neutral guys. It's kind of weird. But it's still like, again, I really like the way that the show looked, and there was a couple moments where I thought it was kind of cute or funny, so I enjoyed it. But it's over, and I just didn't expect that. I didn't think they were gonna end it. Like, I felt like they probably could have kept the show going if they wanted to, and maybe they are. I don't know how they would continue it from this point, because again, they basically did all the end series notes where everyone's moving on to their next big thing, or they've reached their own personal end goals, I guess. It was wrapped up really quick though, so I don't know. I do think they could have probably paced it better, but again, it is a kid show, so kids are going to be more interested in like all the weird places that they go and stuff like that, versus them dwelling on maybe some of them moving on. I think it would have been nice though. I mean, kid shows can have really good endings. It's not like it's not a thing that they can't do. I really like I feel like an underrated show, but OKKO on Cartoon Network, that was a really good show, and it got canceled, I feel like, too soon. But because the writers knew that they was going to be getting canceled, I think they made sure to take full advantage of the last few episodes. They joked about it, and they made sure that they got all their ends tied up. And even though they knew it was rushed, they acknowledged that, and then they made it very enjoyable. Like, the last episode was just to be like, this is for the fans, this is for you guys. It's a really good last episode for a show. And honestly, probably one of my favorite show endings of all time, because I literally, every time I think of a show ending, I'm like, well, OKKO did this, so you can't use that as an excuse anymore. Like, oh, we got cut off. They said we were gonna be able to get more seasons, and then they changed their mind. OKKO said, all right, bet you're gonna make us end it. We're gonna make sure we end it the way we want. It's just not gonna be quite like how we wanted. But you know, that's how it is. So, I don't think, again, that I've been really watching anything else, though. I think, like I said, that was the only thing that I watched, and luckily it was short, so I was able to, I banged it out in like 3 days, because again, it was 8 episodes. But again, I was just shocked that it was ending. I didn't think they would end it that soon. I mean, I don't know if maybe if it wasn't doing quite as well. I mean, I didn't think it was doing bad, obviously, but and maybe it's not ending. Maybe they just got me fooled, but it definitely felt like it was ending with the way it was. Because, like, again, if they do continue the series, it's going to be a very different dynamic than what it was. I don't know. We'll see. But we're getting somewhat close to the end here. Again, for anybody that watches through to these, I really appreciate you checking in, and shout out to Ben, because I know you're the one that gets the most excited about these, so I really appreciate all the support that you've been giving me, and all the comments. So I really thank you a lot. You know, friends support friends is great. But you know, all my friends and family that have been watching these, of course, I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the feedback you guys give me, when you do. So thank you. It's just a nice way that I've been trying to keep myself into, I think, doing art and doing digital art, because it's something that I feel like I always end up kind of pushing off, and not doing. And hopefully, if I keep on this, maybe I can get to the bigger goal, which is making a comic, which I've always wanted to do. But, you know, anyways, if you like what you see here, if you're newer to my channel and you've gotten to the end, you can check out more of my art at Instagram. That's at Esnon. There's cosplay and things on there as well. And then too, if you just like art or speed draws, I've been making a couple of these. I got a playlist full of those you can check out as well. And then also for the main focus of my channel, I typically look at like figures and anime figure collections. In fact, because I'm actually a little bit ahead, look forward to a new figure next week, and probably the next week as well. I think I actually got a notification that something was on the way, so probably going to be figure videos coming out here. So look forward to that. And then you can check out more of my figures and photos. That is at Desunasis. I got lots of pictures on there. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed another video. Wow. And I guess that's it. Well, yeah. Bye.